What is up, you guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. I am Caleb, and today we are going to talk the top 10 scary SpongeBob SquarePants theories. Coming in at number 10, we have SpongeBob and Squidward's homes are remnants of a tiki bar. What do you usually see at the tiki bar? Paper lanterns, flaming cocktails, pineapples, coconuts, tea heads, and a bunch of fox flowers. And what do SpongeBob and Squidward's houses look like? A pineapple and a stone tiki head. This Reddit theory agrees that on a sunken ship with a tiki bar overboard brought these items to the bottom of the sea, and SpongeBob and Squidward decided to make them into their homes. Coming in at number 9, we have the show is a metaphor for pre-World War II Germany. Like so many discussions on the internet, this theory begins with Hitler. The logic goes that Squidward, a failed artist and kind of a jerk with squid superior complex, represents Adolf Hitler. He wants to get rid of SpongeBob, who embodies the Jewish people. Patrick stands for German ignorance. He lives alongside SpongeBob and Squidward, but seems totally oblivious to their toxic dynamic. Sandy Cheeks is America trying to free the Jews, SpongeBob, from Hitler, Squidward's tyranny. Finally, Mr. Krabs represents the rest of Europe, which looked down on Hitler and Germany for its role in World War I. Coming in at number 8 is SpongeBob is a veteran suffering from PTSD. Now, some fans have picked up on strange similarities between SpongeBob SquarePants and military veterans. He wears the same thing every day, wakes up at the same time with a horn, and addresses his boss with vaguely, like, yes sir. If SpongeBob is a veteran struggling with PTSD, he might have some weird verbal tics and seeks stability in a full-time fry cook gig in quiet neighborhood. At number 7, we have the main characters are each addicted to a different drug. SpongeBob's quirks can be explained by his personality. This theory proposes that at least 5 characters are addicted to a specific drug. SpongeBob takes shrooms since she has a hyperactive imagination and the capacity for both joy and panic. Patrick prefers weed, as evidenced by his slow speech, carefree attitude, and frequent bouts of the munchies. Squidward's moodiness and poor job performance could be attributed to heroin abuse, while Mr. Krabs and Mr. Puffs' ill tempers and paranoia might be signs of a cocaine problem. Coming in at number 6, we have the patties are actually vegan. But what if Mr. Krabs only serves burgers that taste like crab? One counter-argument claims that he engineered a convincing imitation crab meat, and that is the true key to his success. Crustacean customers get all the great seafood taste without the soul-sucking guilt of eating their best friend. It's why they prefer the crusty crab to the rival chum bucket, which serves actual chum, non-imitation fish parts. Ugh, gross. Halfway up our list, at the number 5 spot, we have Krabby Patties are made from crabs, which is the opposite of the last theory. What is it that makes Krabby Patties so delicious? It all comes down to a secret ingredient that only Mr. Krabs knows. And there might be a sinister reason why he's keeping it under lock and key. Many Redditors believe Mr. Krabs is a cannibal who makes his burgers with crab meat. He has killed and served up all his crab friends for the business, which is why he's seemingly the only crab in town. And some even speculate that the long-absent Mrs. Krabs was a victim of his scheme. No, wow. At number 4, we have It's All About Global Warming. You probably assume SpongeBob SquarePants, who lives in the pineapple under the sea, to be a sea sponge, right? Wrong. For this metaphor to work, he needs to be a kitchen sponge, representing human waste and pollution. Mr. Krabs, as SpongeBob's employer, stands in for the large corporations that cause pollution, while Patrick, as SpongeBob's best friend, is Western civilization, i.e. lazy and main cause of the world's pollution. Squidward is the liberalism that calls for action against climate change, but because no one shares his interests, he's constantly ignored. And we made it to the all-important top 3. At number 3, we have Squidward is SpongeBob's guardian. Alright, this is getting messed up. Anyways, while SpongeBob loves spending time with his neighbor, Squidward tolerates him at best. So why doesn't Squidward move or quit his job working alongside SpongeBob at the Krusty Krab? According to a Reddit theory, SpongeBob's secretly rich parents hired Squidward to watch over SpongeBob, whom they suspect has ADHD, Attention Deficient Hyperactive Disorder. Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. Though they worried about how their son would fare on his own, they wanted him to have an independent life. So they bought SpongeBob a nice health. How else could he afford it on a fry cook salary? And gave Squidward a loan to help him move next door. Squidward has served as a sort of guardian ever since, and SpongeBob's parents purchased for themselves nearby so they could spend more money on travel. And at the number 2 spot, we have the main characters represent the 7 deadly sins: sloth, pride, greed, gluttony, lust, and envy, and wrath. They're the 7 deadly sins, but they're also, according to some Nickelodeon viewers, SpongeBob's 7 main characters. Patrick spends most of his days snoring under a rock, so he's sloth. Mr. Krabs' obsession with money makes him a clear candidate for greed, while Cranky Squidward is in a neat stand-in for wrath. Plankton's sole mission in life is to steal the Krabby Patty recipe with it, Mr. Krabs' success for himself, which is pretty envious. That leaves gluttony for Gary, pride for Sandy, and lust for over-friendly SpongeBob. So anyways, we reached that all-important moment in our top 10 scary SpongeBob SquarePants theories. At the number 1 spot, we have Bikini Bottom is the result of nuclear testing. One of the most popular SpongeBob SquarePants theories claims that Bikini Bottom is located directly underneath Bikini Atoll, the Marshall Islands atoll, where the U.S. government conducted 23 nuclear tests during the Cold War. That means SpongeBob and his friends are aquatic mutations whose body and minds have been warped by the nuclear waste above. The Bikini Atoll theory would also explain why everyone in this modern underwater community sends letters and dresses like a dad from the 1950s. So, yeah, that's all. So, yeah. So, what was your favorite part of this top 10 list? Comment down below your favorite theory, and I'll see you all in the next top 10 video. I'll see you all